Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand final for the Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy August monthlies, and we have got Vortix playing in the south corner of the map in blue as the French, and in the north, in red, also playing as the French, is HuT. One of these two players will book their golden ticket to the main event Redbull Wololo Legacy in Castle Heidelberg, Germany, and to kick off this best of 7, we've got a French mirror. In French mirrors, you've got to be careful, you've got to make sure you try not to lose as many villagers as you're able to kill. Often going with the French Royal Knights, the mobility is the key issue in this matchup. And often the French will go for that second town centre. It just depends on the timing of it. Who will get there first for that second town centre? Who will pile on the pressure first? Who will be the first aggressor to draw that first blood with a villager kill? Both players known for their micro. That definitely is important in the French mirror, because the French Royal Knights with great micro can do a lot of damage. And you can see pretty standard builds here for villagers on gold here for HuT now. 3 for Vortix. Very standard openings, both players opting for a slightly different build, with Vortix going for an extra villager on food and one less on gold. We see Vortix playing the French a lot, and HuT does as well, but I definitely, when I think French, I think of Vortix and his capabilities. Also Marine Lord, of course, who has also qualified already for the main event, and one of these two players are going to be looking to join them, and it will be 3 villagers on the School of Cavalry for HuT there. Of course, the standard opening in terms of the landmark choice, 3 villagers being used for the landmark there for Vortix as well, so they're going to be up at the same time almost picture perfect, and that's to be expected at this level of gameplay, to have that standard build down to a T. Villagers are starting to transition to wood now for both players. Often you can get, with French versus other civilizations, a very nice army composition of knights and archers. But it's less likely in a French mirror. Often both players tend to go for that knight mass, especially because of the mobility and micro you can achieve with that. And we shall see which player is able to go for the second town centre first. See Vortix getting that mill for the early wheelbarrow. HuT already has his mill up and running. We'll be clicking wheelbarrow soon, I suspect. There it is. There's the wheelbarrow for HuT. Wheelbarrow will be coming in for Vortix very soon as well, I'm sure. Bit of a micro battle here with the scouts, harassing the villagers on the gold vein. Now indeed, Vortix queues up that wheelbarrow. It'll be a fascinating start to this best of 7. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Both of these players are so good at Age of Empires 4. I mean, you'd kind of want both of them at the main event, Redbull Wololo Legacy, but only one will go through from today's games. 2 scouts from HuT, gonna harass those villagers on gold. It's going to be a bit of a scout warfare. I think Vortix just waiting for his other scout to arrive so he can make it an even fight. There's that age up for Vortix. We'll have the defender's advantage. If he can get an early out, I'm sure HuT will back off by then. But taking the trades in HP now. That's good micro by HuT. Gets another hit with the scout. Might even get another. He does indeed. And now the 2 scouts will be taking hits against Vortix's scout, but HuT won't want to lose the HP on his scout. Crazy micro going on here. Neither player wants to lose either scout, that is for sure. Looks like HuT's going to run home with his weak scout. He's going to continue the chase with his strong scout. Vortix has to be careful not to lose that one. Here comes the early knight there. The knight will be coming out for HuT relatively soon as well. Vortix going straight forward with his. Gonna have to pay attention here. There's the knight. Will they clash horns? Will they clash directly? We shall see. Takes a hit there. Scout on 13 HP. Vortix, and he heads home, heads back to the town centre. The scouts keep an eye on each other. That's so important to keep the scouts alive, so you can find out where your opponent is. You need to keep an eye on where their knights are. And HuT opting to chase Vortix's one rather than being aggressive. That's actually really interesting, this detail here, because Vortix is going to try and pressurize and get a villager kill if he can. Whoa, HuT looking to get a little playpen for his gold villagers. We've seen him do that before, actually. Looks like HuT gets the first hit on the knight. The knight's going to drive in. It's going to dash in. Gets through the walls. Oh, it looks like the body block tries to come in for HuT, but as you can see, the knight manages to get that kill in the end. That was so close, but the perfect micro there. He tried the best as he could to try and get the body block with the villagers, but didn't quite manage it. The knight managed to get the kill in the end, and now backs off. Vortix going to be happy with that early start. Keeping the knight from HuT back home. Does lose a little bit of HP, but certainly worth the trade. I definitely would want to keep my knight and get a villager kill. But the scout goes down there for Vortix. I think HuT only has 1 scout himself. Be 2 knights versus 2. Vortix does have the weaker knights though. Villagers trying to get the walls up. And now HuT trying to rush it down with the villagers. He will be getting them up, it seems, on this side at least. Manages to get the quick walls. The knights get some further hits. Vortix might try and scramble to get another village kill if he can on this opening here. It is still technically open. Villagers go down for the quick walls. Will HuT manage it? He does in time. And the town centre is now firing the arrows, and the knight might go down. And that might be a good play there. Villagers getting a couple of hits as well. And villagers are garrisoned inside the town centre. Does get the kill in the end, I think. Vortix loses that knight. First blood in terms of the knight loss. But HuT has lost a villager. I would certainly prefer to lose the knight and get a villager kill, rather than the other way around. And speaking of that, behind all that aggression and lack of idle time, because obviously the economy for Vortix hasn't been pressured at all. He's going to be getting that second town centre on the woodline and deer in a very nice spot there. We see the villagers on stone for HuT. We do indeed. 6 of them. And I suspect that second town centre will be coming out for HuT relatively soon, but it will be lagging behind. So in this small margins, these small differences will play a big could potentially play a big difference rather. That second town centre coming out for Vortix. 3 knights going to clash against each other. They all get the charge attack off in each other. But HuT gets the better hits there. Vortix heads back home to the town centre. There is an outpost there on that gold mine. Going to protect those gold villagers. There are 6 villagers, not enough space to garrison all them all. Actually 7 villagers now. Don't see a blacksmith for either player just yet. Both opting for that second town centre rather early. 3 knights and a scout making their way through, and now HuT's turn to be aggressive. Second stable going down, as you expect. Can be a very big knight fight here. HuT getting that second town centre down as well. 8.5 minutes into the game almost, and action-packed. HuT looking to get some walls here on the west side here. Won't be able to take those barriers unless he gets a gate and goes outside in the open area, but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to defend your base and keep things compact. There's that second stable coming out for HuT. He scouts the second stable for Vortix, and he knows that he needs to do the same. And concerning thing for HuT though is that in a mirror match, he's kind of playing catch up. He's always kind of reacting, getting quite a lot of HP loss on his knights, trying to be active. He's losing quite a lot of HP. Maybe looking to get some chivalry upgrades here, because he will need to heal up those knights before he can take another meaningful engagement, because now this double stable is up and running for Vortix. The knight numbers will start to build up. Blacksmith as well for Vortix. That's going to be key, because that will give him bloomery, as you see he's already in. So the knights are looking strong here, both in numbers and in quality for Vortix. Textiles coming in for Vortix as well. Going to be boosting the HP on those villagers. HuT doesn't get textiles just yet. Nor does have a blacksmith, but he's keeping the army active. He is idling the economy, losing some HP to do so. Let's take a look at the village count. 34 for HuT, 39 for Vortix, and that's partly because HuT did lose a villager, but also Vortix got that second town centre up and running faster. It's going to be a third stable for Vortix. Better economy might mean better number of knights. It might then come down to a decisive fight for HuT. He would need a decisive fight to claw his way back into the game. Getting a blacksmith now for that bloomery. Things start to calm down. A couple of villagers idle there on the food. HuT fixes that, goes to wood. Bit of fight here on the front lines. HuT does lose a knight. Vortix dives in. That's a problem though. Idle villagers there. HuT gonna dive on the wood line. Might get some value here. Should be able to get a villager kill. Backs off. Doesn't manage it in the end. Bit surprising. On the right side, does take down a scout, I believe. Vortix, where is he with his knights? I think he's had to pull back. Can't really fight too much underneath the town centres. 2 knights versus 2, but Vortix has the benefit of the full health knight there. Not having to back off there. Things have calmed down again, but for how long? Who knows? A couple of knights going down the right side with a scout, adding vision. Villagers coming forward here. What are these up to? 4 of them. Where are these villagers all going to? I think they might be going for the boar, perhaps. Quite possibly. HuT diving in there, trying to get some value. Trying to keep an eye on whether Vortix is paying attention. He was paying attention, garrisoning the villagers. Where are those villagers going? There's only... yeah, there's 8 of them. 7 of them. No, there's 8 of them. It will be for the boar. Vortix trying to keep an eye on things. Does lose a knight there. HuT getting a good charge attack, but Vortix trying to follow that in. Always have to be careful when you're playing as a French mirror. The scout kind of slowing them down a bit. Scout needs to be sacrificed. You saw it there. The movement speed of the scout is actually slower than the knights, and therefore HuT takes that scout out of the equation. He donates him. The chivalry comes in for HuT, so the knights will be starting to heal up very nicely. There is the boar getting an outpost first, making sure he's nice and safe. Now the knight does get sniped there for HuT. That was actually quite painful for him. Villagers will garrison inside the town centre. Vortix doesn't care. He's going to dive right in. He feels he has the advantage. He's got the knight numbers, but we'll get a spear transition. Only one spearman though. Chivalry is now in for Vortix, diving in. Loses another villager there, HuT. There's a couple of spearmen there that might make the difference in that fight. Town centre fire also helping, but Vortix diving in on the wood line. Looking to get some villager kills. Might get a couple here. He gets a charge attack. Gets 2 vills, I think, or maybe just the one. He backs off. He's kind of trapped there. Vortix loses a couple more knights, and that's a problem. Sure, getting villager kills, but he's losing his knights here, Vortix. I'm not sure that's the play. Quite a lot of idle time there for HuT. 13 military on the field versus 9. HuT certainly has the advantage. Getting spearmen out into the mix as well. So that was an interesting altercation. Vortix trying to do some damage, and that does give him the opportunity to now safely take the boar. That is one thing to bear in mind. He did get some villager kills as well, but he lost quite a lot of knights there. Might be looking to get another villager. I think Textiles is still not in though for HuT, surprisingly enough. Looks like HuT is looking to get the deer patch there on the right side, making sure he gets the outpost to keep the pocket economy safe. And look at this fight here, taking a fantastic fight. He traps one of the knights. Vortix losing everything here. Spearman in the chase as well. This is looking to be a problem here for Vortix. Sure, Vortix has the boar, but HuT is getting the deer in this position. Vortix doesn't have the numbers he needs. This might spiral out of control. This could be the point that HuT needed. Village count, 53 for HuT, 58 for Vortix. What matters is the number of military on the field, and HuT certainly has more. 14 versus 13. A couple of spearmen involved there as well. The knights do back off now. Both players back off each other. Alright, looks like HuT's going for the boar himself. Laying outpost, kills the boar with the knights. They're healing up nicely. I hope you guys are enjoying the casted games. I'm certainly enjoying casting them. And we'll be looking to cast a full series of this one, of course. And also the grand finals next. See HuT just reinforcing those walls around the wood line. Doesn't want to succumb to an overchop. He's heading around on the right side. Vortix doesn't really have much army there. Doesn't have any villages there either. Keeping his economy back safe and sound. Back at home. Moving some villages on the left side. Going to the berries. And the deer. But this is pretty unprotected. No outposts there. Will HuT notice it? He'll notice that there are no villagers in the town centres. Does get a charge attack, but doesn't manage to get the villager kill. And this is critical. There's only one village garrison side here. HuT won't mind taking this damage at all. Hardly any damage. He's going to take out the town centre. And this is maybe a bit of an oversight by Vortix, but he's going to keep his army nearby. Does have the army numbers. Oh, that's a great charge attack there for HuT. He baits half the army with one knight, and then the rest of the army charge to the main army. Town centre under attack. Couple of archers there. I don't know if that's an overcommittal for the archers. Only 2 spearmen. Vortix does have to head home. Doesn't have the numbers. Charge tech might come in for Vortix. Kind of playing with fire there. Spearmen do dive a little bit too far for comfort. The knight numbers there looking good for Vortix though. Spearman does engage. Let's get sniped out. 14 knights there for Vortix. Only 11 for HuT, so he's having to backtrack. Obviously the defender's advantage playing a role there. He does have access to the boar himself now. Aristote's coming inside the towers. Looks like a third stable being put down there for HuT. It's going to be stable and double barracks. It's going to be knights and spears for HuT versus knights and archers for Vortix. And I personally prefer the knights and spear play. Micro potential needed is a lot less. And to be honest, at this stage, the reason why I prefer this composition of knights and spears is at any point HuT could just convert, could just double down and go full knights, and the archers won't be able to do anything about it. The outpost will be going down there in the stealth forest. Knights are healing up. HuT is biding his time. Look at the knight queue. 3 stables, 4 stables. This is the play. This is the play for HuT. This is looking interesting. He's getting the spearmen in, and it forces Vortix to go into archers. And he's committed triple archery range, but this is so good for HuT, I believe, because all HuT needs to do is stop producing those spears if he wishes to, and commit to full knights. And the full knights will take out the archers and knights altogether. This is looking good. 18 knights there for Vortix. 18 knights there for HuT. but the spearmen will be doing a lot of damage. This is a decisive fight, massive charge attack. I definitely like the fight here for HuT, especially with the spearmen involved. Vortix has the greater micro ability in terms of, well, greater micro challenge. He needs to take care of the spears, but the spears are getting good damage here. The archers aren't getting too much damage on the knights. And this is a fight that maybe HuT should win, but it doesn't seem like it's heading that way almost. It feels like Vortix is too difficult to tell here. I think HuT is winning this decisively, and Vortix is going to struggle. It comes down to spearmen. The archers aren't going to do too much damage. A couple of weak knights being microed there back for HuT. He clears up. So many knights go down. That comes down to the ability of the spears just to be able to attack move into the knights. But Vortix has the worst in terms of challenge, in terms of trying to snipe those spearmen with the archers. Look at the numbers here for HuT. Things are going to start to snowball here, you feel. HuT looking strong here with 3 stable production of full knights. And at this point, no more spearmen are needed for HuT. He can go full knights, and he's recognized it. Not producing anything. Nothing in the queue there for HuT from the barracks. Meanwhile, Vortix is actually keeping some food, keeping some gold. Maybe looking to get to the castle age. That might be his win condition now. He spent all of his gold. He's run out of gold. He's going to go to that forward gold position. HuT recognizes that that could be the position of attack. We shall see how aggressive he is and whether he pressures that sooner rather than later. On the right side, the pocket economy of the deer is almost running out. In the north, transition to berries. On the west, walling up between wood lines. HuT looking to gain control of the map. He's healing up these knights with chivalry. Over time, this army is getting stronger and stronger. This is a lot of archers, and Vortix is committing to archers more. This is not the play. Those archers won't be able to do anything. Not against full knights. He's moving to spearmen himself. I think Vortix is reacting. And it's a struggle here because HuT can just go full knights. And he should be able to try and challenge most things. I think HuT needs to try and prevent the spearmen numbers being really gathering up, because then spearmen might start to hurt these knights. Will we see an archer range transition? I don't think so. I don't expect so either for HuT. The ball has been taken. Nice, taking a good fight there. One knight there for HuT, lost down there. Oh, there's a bigger fight here, it seems. Not sure how old these carcasses are. Vortix losing a lot there. Oh my god, I think those were new carcasses. I think that was Vortix's army. Let's take a look at the numbers. 34 military in terms of knights, mostly knights. Versus 36. I'm not sure where Vortix's knights have gone. I don't think he has the knights. He's only got spears and archers. Vortix struggling on the gold. I don't think this army is going to be good enough here. Got a lot of spears. The knights should be able to attack that. This could become a decisive fight. There's quite a decent number of spears here. I'm not sure if HuT wants to take it. It might do so. If you can clear up the spears and get the charge attack on them, it should work. HuT opting to take the fight. The archers won't be able to do too much damage in the background. Spearmen coming into play for HuT as well, so that'll do some damage. HuT's taking the fight, and he will be, if he can clear out the spears, that'll be the end of it, because Vortix won't be able to deny that. Not with archers. The spears do go down. Doesn't have the numbers. Weak knights being microed there. Fantastic micro from HuT. This is championship worthy. He's going to be taking the first game, you feel. With this kind of micro level, the skill is fantastic. Going to be pulling this knight as well back home, perhaps. Let's just see if he manages to. He's going to run back home. He's done the damage he needs to. He's denied the gold. Vortix doesn't actually have much of a gold income right now. Has 0 villagers on gold. That is a big problem. That gold denial is huge. Vortix floating the wood. Look at that army heading back home. He's going to heal up nicely. Vortix having to try and replenish his army. In the meantime, Vortix getting some map control, getting the static defenses, getting the palisades, consolidating his economy, now going for the archer range transition. He notices the spear switch. At this point, he can keep his knight numbers alive and just go for full archers production. And those spears will be microed down. HuT playing this one fantastically on Dry Arabia. French Mirror has been fascinating so far. And farming transitions coming out for HuT. Looks like Vortix doesn't have that farming transition just yet, and that's a big significant thing. He's been relying on pocket economies, been relying on berries, and the thing is now Vortix doesn't have the wood. Well, he doesn't have the wood because he's just transitioning now. That's quite a hard transition all at once. But HuT, the transition he's making the transition slowly, still has villagers on berries. Slowly adding those farms, and I do like that play. Going around on the right side with the knights, looking to see if he gets some value on this secondary town centre. There are 3 villagers there. The trouble for Vortix now, his army is relatively static. They're not the fastest moving. He notices the knights move in. He's going to bring the spears in. Villagers coming in. Some of them get charged attack. I think one of them goes down. Knights just back off now. For HuT, biding his time. Being patient, waiting for his time to strike. A couple of spearmen there. Kind of being wasted there for HuT. 2 knights getting some vision on the map for Vortix. Either player committed to the castle edge. 2 knights will get in. Might be able to do some damage on the villager that's walling. Knights are being brought back home though. A couple of archers. Won't be able to deal with that. One villager does get taken down. Now the ram rush is coming in. Vortix, I don't think he has the military for this. He's going to try and go and push hard. I think it's a bit preemptive there, building the rams at home. There's a lot to get through here. HuT gets to the castle age, and that's a big problem for Vortix. Vortix has to pressure now, because these knights, I think it's going to be the Royal Institute. Let's just take a look at what Vortix's HuT's gone up to. Yeah, it's gone up with the Royal Institute. We'll be able to get those Imperial Age units, or Imperial Age upgrades rather, for his castle age units. At 30% discount as well. And don't forget the relics coming in as well. 2 knights are keeping the knights at home for HuT, buying himself some time. Spears and archers on the front line. I think HuT's going to need to react. He's going to tear up the knights here first and then maybe head there. With quite a few. Okay, 1 knight does go down. Another will go down soon as well with the charge. Charge attack means that happens, but the push is coming in for Vortix. He is on a timer. His opponent is in the castle age. But look at the number of archers. At this point, Vortix doesn't even need to use his army. Oh, sorry, HuT doesn't even need to use knights. With the knights, he can raid. He can go down to the south of Vortix's base, and as long as he has enough archers at home and spears to try and torch down the battering rams, he'll be able to defend quite nicely. Look at the archers microed here. These are veteran archers now. These guys will do a great bit of work. This is being pushed back by Vortix. The knights are coming around on the right side. Where are the rest of the knights? They're coming in slowly but surely. They're riding forward. Vortix is nowhere near the castle age. That is the big problem. The archers firing off. These are veteran archers. This is a great fight for HuT. HuT won't mind losing the archers, because as long as he can take out as many spears as he can, these guys will be doing loads of damage. These are veteran Royal Knights. They won't care too much about the archers. It'll be the spears that need to be taken out. The veteran archers do a lot of damage on the spears. The charge attack comes off. HuT taking a decisive fight here. The numbers are extensive for the knights for HuT. He's going to surround the archers. Vortix archers can't do anything about this now. Only a handful of spears. The spears go down. The knights for HuT are going to be running riot. And there it is. There's the first game. HuT taking the first game of the set. Vortix tapping out on this French mirror on Dry Arabia. HuT has the advantage now. Game number 1 is in his belt. Game number 2 coming right up. Welcome, ladies and gents, to game number 2 between Vortix and HuT on the west side of the map. In blue, we've got Vortix playing as the Holy Roman Empire. On the southeast of the map, we've got HuT playing in red as the Chinese. Game number 1 going in the way of HuT. Looking strong here, with Vortix looking to try and get a response here. He will need a response, and what a civilization to do it with. The Holy Roman Empire, relatively strong on hybrid maps, of course, with the inspiration of their prelate, getting a 40% gather speed on those villages. Map being Khao means that things will be precarious on these dockable positions, these 2 ponds. You have to have a look at the map carefully, because it really does depend on where the fish is spawning. As you can see, the fish really does favour Vortix in some ways on this western pond. On the eastern pond, it somewhat favours HuT. And the Chinese, I do like this civilization on this map, mostly because of their ability to supervise the barracks. It does mean they'll be able to get spears out early, nice and early, to try and challenge for these dock positions. There's that dock coming up for HuT in that position. We'll have access to 1 shorefish, but not terrible, but not the best. This is kind of neutral between the 2 players. This one certainly belongs to Vortix, and this one is really on Vortix's side, so that's a bit tricky for HuT. Not sure how I feel about the spawn. It would be quite nice to have like an even spawning, but I don't believe there's a way to guarantee that on the map editor. Now Vortix getting a fishing ship nice and early. So is HuT. Map being Khao. Look at that. Vortix coming 2 scouts there. Be interesting to see how many scouts that HuT committed to actually. As the Chinese. It is only the 1. Got a decent number of sheep. Sheep's not usually the concern though. Just with 1 scout there, he might need to commit to a barracks, because those 2 scouts will be able to do a lot of damage, and there's no real way to deny that, not without 2 scouts of your own. I think HuT's going to be forced into a barracks here. Oh, needs to make sure he doesn't lose that dock. There's the barracks coming up for Vortix. Trouble for HuT is he doesn't have the wood just yet. He's continuing to produce fishing ships. May need to idle the fishing ships a little bit here. just so he can afford that barracks. Because he cannot afford to lose his dock. He almost has the wood. There it is. He has the wood for a barracks. Will we be popping that down? That's exactly what he's going to do. Will that be enough time though? Needs to delay things a little bit. Maybe take his one scout there to try and make these two scouts dance a bit. The barracks is now up and running for the Holy Roman Empire. Look, this 40% faster gathering speed is huge for the economy. Look at everything that's happening just much faster for Vortix. That's because of the economy. There's that one scout trying to keep these two scouts. He's trying to bait him. He's not having it, Vortix. Yep, HuT committing to the second scout. He knows he has to do something fast. There's the spear coming out now. The spear will take some time to walk over there. HuT committing to that second scout, and that's huge because Vortix has been able to do a lot of damage to this dock. There's a second scout now. HuT probably look to take the fight now. There's a spearman coming in for Vortix, and that's going to be close by. Yeah, Vortix is not happy about that. He's going to make sure he continues to try and torch down the dock. Spearman going to be fighting against the spearman. Here comes the micro here. This is what's key. Spearman on spearman, scout on scout. Oh, the spearman for Vortix gets pulled back. Second spearman comes out for HuT. Don't forget, HuT can produce the spearman quicker. He can supervise. There is a second spearman there for Vortix as well. Two scouts, two spearmen, and another third spearman coming into the play for Vortix. Same for HuT. Very early aggression here. And the spears engage with the spears, scouts on the scouts. Can the spears switch their attention to the scouts? Oh yes, HuT gets a lot of damage on that scout. And HuT still has a lot of his scout HP alive. That's really significant. But another two spearmen come in, one for each player. The spearman goes down for Vortix, and Vortix has to back off now. Villager coming out to repair. Dock successfully repaired, or saved rather at least. But at what cost? 6 fishing ships for Vortix, 5 for HuT. Small details like this can really play a difference. Will we see a further committal from either player in the Dark Age, or will we see a transition to the Feudal Age? That is the question on our minds. Spearmen are still being queued up. Doesn't look like Vortix has given up just yet. He pulls back, doesn't have the numbers here. HuT might be looking to be aggressive. We shall see how well he manages. He is heading through the stealth forest. Chase continues. It is a Dark Age commitment, and there is the pressure again. Spears for Vortix, kind of outnumbering the Chinese here, especially with the extra one. Oh, but good hit on that scout. You kind of want to lose the scout. You don't want to lose the scout, because if you lose the scout, you lose the vision. Will HuT turn around and fight here? Zai's better of it. He's heading back home. Adding more spears. Both players adding more spears. Big fights here. Villagers joining in the action, maybe for an outpost. HuT forcing the issue. He's bringing villagers to the fight. Wait, he's bringing a lot of villagers. What's going on? Spears going to fight against each other in the stealth forest. This is where micro becomes hard. Two scouts attack the scouts, but look at this. There's a prelate there. That prelate will be helping the situation for the Holy Roman Empire, that's for sure. Look at the micro from Vortix, bringing back the weak spears constantly, and now the spears are still pushing forward for HuT. He needs to take care of the prelate though. That prelate is dangerous into the fight. The spears do engage again. Oh wait, HuT not taking an effective fight there, I don't think. A couple of villagers. Oh, those are the villagers being pulled away. Looking to try and get an outpost there. The villagers should be able to manage it. They do build fast. Spearman numbers struggling here for HuT. 2 more add into the fight, but the prelate is going to be healing up those units. That's the concern that is there for HuT at the moment in the stealth forest. Spears still continuously being added by HuT, and that's the issue. The barracks is double producing here, I'm sure of it, or was at least for a while. Now HuT goes up to the next stage. He's going to go up with the Imperial Academy. We'll be able to get more Imperial officials, and there we see the Arcan Chapel for Vortix. Vortix will have those gold villages supervised or kind of boosted there. And the sheep. Lacking the wood though, I'm afraid. Now it's HuT's turn to put the pressure on. He'll be looking to try and deny that dock, torch it down. 5 spearmen garrisoned inside that outpost. I feel like the spearmen should be coming out. They'll be able to do more torch damage, yeah. That is indeed the case. But there is the new age now. Vortix, will he be looking to get some man-at-arms? Let's just see what he does. He's going for the upgrade to the spearman first. Getting hardened spearman upgrade. Looking to get a second dock. But the thing is that Vortix can get galleys out. He's queued up one galley. If he can try and keep this alive until then, that'll be significant. But even if he can't, there's going to be a second dock coming up. Ah, the galley gets taken out. He can't build that. Villagers coming out, 4 of them trying to rush that dock down. Don't think HuT can take that fight just yet. Okay, this is the issue. HuT hasn't got Spearman upgrade. That is hugely significant. Fishing ships garrison the dock, kind of drop off the food. Bit of a standoff here. Dock is up and running. Galley's coming out. There is the junk. The junk will try and do some damage on the fishing ships, but I'm not sure how much damage they can do. The junk might get into the fight on the spears. This is a terrible fight for Vortix. He can't take that fight, not with the junk there. If the galley comes out soon, that'll be a big deal. The galley will come out in time. Spearman looking to try and torch down the dock. Need to turn and fight. They're going to be damaged by the spears. The junk focusing on the fishing ship. Not sure that's the play. Spearman turn around. There comes out the junk. Junk does some damage on the spear. The trouble is the galley's going to come out to the fight, and that galley will be devastating. There's the galley. That's not what the Chinese will want to see. The spears for HuT need to back off. They're getting mowed down. Now this is a problem here because the junk won't be able to fight it. Spearman numbers are starting to dwindle for HuT because of the galley. That galley, an absolute powerhouse in the feudal age for the Holy Roman Empire. HuT has decided to dock on the right side of the pond though, so he feels he's probably going to lose this one, and quite rightly so. There are 2 junks. Going to try and do some damage as much as he can. He's going to transition to the right dock. But you feel like the Holy Roman Empire at this point looking stronger, especially with the access to the galley. They should be able to maintain control of the docks and the ponds. Spearman, take care of that scout. Vision will be lacking for Vortix for a period of time now. As the second galley comes out, I don't think any sort of any amount of micro will be able to win the fight for HuT. It's just about taking an effective trade here with the 2 junks. Now looks like the Holy Roman Empire docked it on this right side of the pond as well. That's the problem for HuT. Because now a galley coming out here should win that pond fight, and it's looking rough for HuT, has to be said. Down very much to the civilizations. And 3 junks have come out. HuT not giving up this fight just yet. He has faith in his micro, and gonna try and get as much fish as he can. He has invested a lot of wood into it already, of course. They come up, 8 spearmen looking to try and take down the dock for HuT, and HuT doesn't have anything in defense, just a junk. The problem is that junk can't, he needs to make a decision. He needs to make a decision with the junk to either take out the spears, but if he does that, the junk will go down to the galley. I mean, to be honest with you, the galley would always win this anyway. Feels like HuT should go for the spears instead. We shall see if he decides to change his mind. Instead, on the southern pond, 4 junks are out, looking to take out the galleys. Looks like Barbican of the Sun is being put down for HuT. Hyper-aggressive here, but I don't think the spearmen will survive, and the villagers can be sniped by the galleys. I'm not sure this is the play. I think villagers are going to be going down. I don't think Barbican is going to make it. No, galleys are doing great work here. The spearmen trying their best against the galleys. There's only 1 villager still building that Barbican of the Sun. Will the galley deny that villager? Remains to be seen on the northern pond. That junk goes down. That dock will be going down afterwards. With the spearmen struggling here. Vortix brings his spearmen into the fight as well. 4 junks. And the villager does go down in the end on the Barbican of the Sun. That's the problem. He's going to have to commit more villagers. 6 of them coming out. But they'll be taken down by the spears. Oh, this is a problem for HuT. HuT's going to struggle here. And the Vortix has got his spears just the right time. Barbican of the Sun does go up, but at what cost? He lost a lot of villagers. 45 villagers versus 18. Holy smokes. And HuT taps out. He calls it. He lost too many villagers. Vortix pulls one back. He evens the set 1 apiece as we move into game number 3. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another casted game of this set between Vortix and HuT. Game number 3, with Vortix spawning in the northeast corner of 4 Lakes in blue as the Chinese, and in the southwest we've got HuT in red as the Rus. The Rus, one of the strongest civilizations on 4 Lakes, there's no doubt about that. The Chinese tend to fare pretty well themselves, but the Rus are a little bit extra special. If they can keep their food economy alive on the ponds, they can really get that fishing economy rocking and rolling. Their fishing ships do cost double the amount, 150 wood versus 75, but those guys don't need to travel back home to drop off the food. They can drop it off where they gather it. Makes for a very efficient gathering. What is the concern for the Rus is the feudal age does not hold much in the way of naval prowess, I would say. They don't have the units to defend really. The Lodger attack ship, a bit underwhelming. They are able to have the flexibility of converting fishing ships to attack ships. But often what we see is the roosters, they tend to wall up their ponds to keep that fishing economy safe and sound. What will we see out of the Chinese today? Plenty of wolves, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the bounty. 125 so far for HuT. But what's important to consider is two main builds for the rooster on 4 lakes. One is in which you get a hunting cabin nice and early so you can get an extra scout and get a wheelbarrow, get that wood economy rolling, and then you transition to get that first dock. The other build is that you go straight for a dock and then get the hunting cabin later. Couple of scouts there for Vortix trying to snipe that wolf. Will they manage it? He does indeed. HuT wasn't able to do the last damage on that. HuT is kind of struggling on the bounty, which is a bit of a concern since he committed to that hunting cabin. Let's just see how many scouts he has in the field. He has 2. Now the problem for HuT is that he's committed. He is gone for that wheelbarrow. And it does mean he needs a couple more wolves, a couple more sheep to kill so they can get the bounty to get to the next stage. He needs that gold. He needs that 200 gold. Does have 2 wolves, to be fair, so that should be enough. There's a deer patch there in the north. He needs both his scouts there to try and contest this, but Vortix doing well. He's got both his scouts. And HuT gives it up. He goes back home. He needs the gold though, that's the problem. He's got scouts with 2 wolves. He needs to head back home so he doesn't run out of sheep as well. Not a great haul here for HuT on 4 lakes in terms of bounty. Killing these 2 wolves will certainly help. But he's got a decent number of sheep. He can kill the sheep early and get the bounty from that. Probably likely to pick up this 1 sheep on the way back home. Looks like neither... Yep, and there has been a docking for Vortix in the north. Does have 4 fishing ships out already, and in the south the first Lodger fishing ship is out and about for the roost. Oh, looks like Vortix trying to deny those wolves. I don't think he'll manage it as long as the wolves keep chasing. He needs to be careful, HuT, here, not to run out of the range of the wolves. If he de-aggroes those wolves, that'll be a problem. Vortix just keeping an eye on that, just to see if that happens. Town Center will start to fire on the wolves. Vortix, try to still get the last snipe if you can. Look at the micro here. Wow, tried it. But the Town Center now firing at the scout, and of course Vortix won't want to lose that scout. We'll now have 200 gold to get up to the next stage. He's now getting the wooden fortress, which will be boosting the wood income for him by 20%. Vortix looking good for the feudal age soon. 280 food. Now, I've been discussing this in other casted games. Have a look. 6 fishing ships for Vortix, and that's funded by the fact that the fishing ships are half the price. On the other hand, for the roost, they have to commit to a hunting cabin, which is 125 wood, I believe. And also, their lodger fishing ships are double the cost at 150. So sure, these guys fish efficiently. They do cost more as an initial upfront fee, so it will take a bit of time for that fishing efficiency to really kick in the matchup. The Chinese can also often supervise the lumber cap if they so wish, but there is no Imperial official for Vortix. Maybe looking and opting to get that Imperial Academy first. Things could be relatively slow early on 4 lakes, it's understandable given the considerations of the map. Mission ship numbers really starting to build up. Will we see a pond being docked on the right or on the left? Remains to be seen. It will be the Golden Gate, the landmark of choice for the roost. No kind of surprises there. Taking 4 from food, 4 from wood. Looking to get that Golden Gate up super fast. The villager was looking to sneakily dock in the northern pond, but we'll have to head back home. There's a scout slashing away, hacking away. As you can see, palisades being built there to try and deny the dock positions. That is for Vortix. Vortix going up with the Imperial Academy as expected, using 4 villagers to do so. And he will start to see a bit of a spike in his economy once he starts pumping out those Imperial officials from that Imperial Academy building. Scout diving in there, probably will be losing his life, maybe, from the outpost. Actually manages to survive another day. Only just though. Looks like the scout from HuT trying to snipe him. Trying to chase him down. There's that feudal age for HuT now, going with that Golden Gate. Now transitioning to gold. That's quite curious, actually, going for gold like that. It doesn't have a docking position, so it won't be for attack lodger ships. Looks like it might be a fast castle. Perhaps into the Abbey of the Trinity. You need to be concerned about this gold veins here. There's 2 gold veins there, very exposed. It's actually going for the dock on the left side. There's the Imperial Academy, producing those Imperial officials. They're actually opting for the tax collection there, rather than supervision. Looks like Vortix trying to get a dock there on the west side. That's concerned for HuT. He will want to deny that, because he can't really challenge on waters, really. Not in terms of military aspect, not unless he has the numbers. Oh, what a smart play. He aggroed the boar. HuT, you naughty boy. He aggroed the boar to get the villager. What a play by HuT. That is fantastic play. Incredibly smart. Will Vortix try that again? Will he send another villager? Looks like it will. Will it have the same fate, though? That's the question. Don't forget, the buildings do take extra damage when they're not built and unfinished from the torches. Another villager might be making his way over. Let's take a look at the village count. 38 versus 39. And that would be because of the economy, of course, on the waters. Imperial officials continuing to gather that gold nicely. 2 scouts come out, looking to deny the scout. Oh, this is quite smart here. Oh, will HuT be able to snipe that? Doesn't manage it. It's going to have to run around it. There's a Lodger attack ship doing damage on the scout. I'm not sure that Vortix can build that. He decides to delete it. He's not having it. He doesn't believe he can do it. Wasted a lot of idle time with the walking of that villager, but better than a dead villager. And as you can see, HuT looking for the palisade walls around the coast there, just to protect that eco. Okay, and there's that fast castle timing there for Vortix, it seems. Or is that actually... Yeah, it is. He's going with the Imperial Palace. That's rather interesting. Not going with the Astronomical Clock Tower. That's an interesting choice. Offers a lot of vision, though. It's going to be a fast castle there for Vortix. And HuT make him pay. HuT's gone for a second town centre. Villager count really starting to climb up here. 46 for HuT. That second town centre is going to be adding to a feudal age aggression here. Look at that, double stable knights, and the roofs are pretty strong in the feudal age. Could this be a bit of a greedy build here by Vortix? That castle age coming in. Just managed. Well, he's going to get that blacksmith. Will he be looking to get a monastery with some relics, which we'll see. He's going to be under pressure soon from these stables. Triple stable. HuT is doubling down. HuT is looking to be aggressive in the feudal age with these stables, and we'll be looking to get to the castle age himself very soon, actually. Taking a couple of villagers. Gonna go for the high trade house in a very nice spot there. We'll see how much gold that brings in soon. Whoa. 4 stables. He's going very heavy on the knights, that's for sure. A couple of palace guards are making their way out onto the field. Will Vortix be supervising that? Yeah, he's supervising the barracks. That's going to be producing palace guards soon, very quickly. Actually, I think he's supervising the blacksmith, actually. Yeah, it does appear that he's supervising the blacksmith at the moment. But the good thing for the feudal age roofs is that they can produce those knights and then upgrade them in the castle age, so at least you can get some numbers out. It's not like he has to wait for the castle age to even be able to produce the units. There's a palace guard going to try and deny some of these villages, but there is a town centre there. Really garrison the villages. One villager might go down. Doesn't have textiles. That villager going to be microed there very nicely by HuT. And then early knight does come out, gets a charge attack. 2 knights come out. There is that castle age time. 130 gold per minute from that high trade house, as well as the deer spawning. And it might be the case that Vortix has to transition into some spears. Will we see some archery ranges coming out of HuT? He's committed to 4 stable knights. That's pretty excessive, but he's affording it right now. 15 villages in gold, not bad play. As the knights pop out now. Might want to wait for the upgrades, but he's going to take the fight anyway. Got the numbers advantage after all. He's taking the fight now. The upgrade might take place within the fight itself, and now palace guards have to run, but they don't have the mobility. They're going to be taken down. These guys have now been upgraded. Looking strong here for HuT. He's putting the pressure on. He's got the mobility. Vortix looking to try and wall this up, but he doesn't have the villagers there walling up at all. And now the knights are heading forward. And this is so smart here by HuT. Takes one knight there on the left side, peels one off. You need to get some eco damage. He's kind of fighting underneath the town centre, but he won't mind. The spearman is out on the field. A veteran spearman, no less. And the knights are taking a decent amount of damage, but they're dishing out damage too. The knights do have to back off though. He's idling a lot of the economy. Gold villagers are going to be going down for Vortix if he's not careful. Knight gets off a oh, it doesn't actually get the charge attack, but He's still fighting. And the villagers getting killed there, trying to build up the wall, trying to defend. We take the charge against the spears. There are 3 spears there. The scout takes the brunt of the fight. That's really smart. The brace went on the spears. The HuT's micro is incredible here. Gonna snipe an Imperial official. That is huge. Imperial official goes down. Vortix in trouble here. HuT piling on the pressure. Villagers going out to gold again, but there's still a knight there. Vortix hasn't dealt with that. The Castle Age was too greedy. Food Age was strong for HuT. Now he's transitioned to Castle Age with Castle Age units. And the food economy looking so strong here for HuT. Look at that, 1,400 food per minute. That is the Roost fishing ships that we've talked about. And now HuT might look to try and deny the dock. If he denies the dock, that'll be a big chunk of the food eco there out for Vortix. Starting to torch down. Spearmen are looking to rush in. Knights do back away. He does lose 1 knight though. Things heating up. 1-1 apiece so far, but HuT looking to try and get their second game under his belt. For him anyway, at least. The Knights are circling on the right side, looking to idle villagers on the wood. The problem for Vortix is that he's had a lot of idle economy here. HuT has 68 villagers versus the 52. Villagers have been lost. Oh no, that's a bad move there by Vortix. All the villagers there on the right side of gold lane, but it wasn't protected. The Knights sweep round and HuT going to the wood line again. Oh my god, Vortix's armies in 6s and 7s. They don't know where to be, and they're too slow to move around. 3 Knights on the gold vein being denied. Knights diving in. Guessing it's going to get another Imperial official. Things looking bad here for Vortix. He's under the cosh here. Villagers going to go down underneath the town centre. The Knights here picking off the villagers. We'll get into the spearmen, but he's kept a lot of villagers idled and he's killed a lot. Village count really dropping here for Vortix. 71 for HuT, 49 for Vortix, and now HuT can back off if he wants to. He's got 2 town centres behind this. The question is, will HuT continue to just use the mobility of the Knights, or will he transition to archers? And it will be a transition of 4 archery range, horse archer production it seems. Knights are going to take the fight there against the Spearman. I don't know about that. He backs off in the end. Horse archers do start to come out. Again with a very mobile army. The Knights are going to charge and get another Imperial official with a charge. Fantastic play. Might get the second Imperial official as well. HuT looking very dominant in this 4x game so far. Vortix struggling. He's got quite a few spearmen. He needs to try and stay alive if he can, but you feel like things are turning in the favour of HuT, especially the horsemen, as the horse archers number really starts to build up. Now the Knight's going to go towards the north dock. If he can take down the dock, the food economy will be idle. Knight's just running around. This is a big problem for Vortix. Hasn't been able to stabilise his economy now. Does have the gold on the right side, protected by a couple of spearmen, but doesn't really have an answer to the horse archers. That's the big problem. The horse archers are starting to build up in number. Trying to get Barbican and Sun for some defense and protection, but might not be able to. HuT getting the attack. The steel arrow for his horse archers. Knights might dive in. Horse archers are behind. Horse archers just micro. Charge tech goes off. The Knights dive in. They're going to take the fight. And the horse archers behind going to snipe some of the spearmen. Barbican and Sun does go up. Villagers garrison inside, but villagers will still be going down. HuT won't mind this at all. He wins the fight. He's going to take villagers out. And there it is. There it is. Vortix taps out. He calls a GG. HuT takes game number 3. Makes it 2-1. As we move on to game number 4. Things are really heating up in this set. Who will win the next one? Stick around to find out. Holy moly, we are on Holy Island. Game number 4 between Vortix and HuT. We have got an English mirror match with Vortix playing on the southwest in blue as the English. And also playing as the English is HuT in red in the northeast. Be an interesting Civ matchup here. We haven't seen a mirror match on this map before. We will see it today. Both players, it looks like they're going out for the dock. Vortix sending his villager now. HuT almost there. Starting to build that dock. HuT will be building that dock a little bit quicker, but it could come down to a big micro battle in the feudal age because of the galleys. Incredibly strong archer ships, but both players have access to them. Obviously it's a mirror match. This will come down to fine details. Just like in game number 1 on Dry Arabia where we had the French mirror. This will come down to fine margins and be interesting to see what the differences are in the build. 5 villagers on wood at the moment for the English. For HuT, 5 on wood for Vortix. Pretty even here. 3 villagers on food. 3 villagers on food. The exact same builds at the moment. Villager on the shorefish. Villager on the shorefish. There's nothing to set these players apart from the colours that they're playing in. But let's take a look at the number of scouts actually. That could be an interesting discussion point. Just the one for Vortix. And just the one from HuT. So it's literally the same builds here as expected on the mirror match. We shall see where the deviations occur. So villagers continuing to come out on wood here for HuT. Same for Vortix. This could really come down to fine margins, ladies and gents. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. Things might heaten up here. Vortix needs to get another victory to make it even Stevens, and if he does, that'll push it to a game number 6. We'll go to game number 6 either way, though, because of course HuT winning this game won't seal the deal. We'll need to win the next as well. Villager now being harassed by the scout. Forcing him home. I think HuT's going to do the same. He's going to go for the villager. Get him, boy. Get him. He's heading that way now. He's on the chase. Nearly there. Grab him. Get him. She whistles as well. She gets hurt. She gets stabbed, but she still fishes. She has a task to do. Gonna bring the fishes home. To the town centre. She's on her way. 2 villagers going to gold now for HuT. Looking to get to that feudal age. 1 villager being sent up by Vortix. Looks like HuT might get to the feudal age first then. We'll see. Neither player going for an early build barrow. Kind of expected here, especially when you're on docks. You don't necessarily need to get wheelbarrow too early. The value it gives, of course, is significantly less as opposed to if you have just full villager economy. Fishing well underway. Vortix sending his third villager to gold now. Just a 2 from HuT, but he did go to gold earlier. Not sure if that's going to be enough, especially with Vortix harassing the villagers here. Not within the TC range, I'm afraid. So HuT's going to fire this off with villagers, but where is the scout? He needs a scout on hand. 3rd village coming out to gold now for HuT. And a 4th. Vortix moves away with the scout. Vortix's food income looking pretty good here. Where's that villager going? Going for a second dock here. Will the scout spot it here for Vortix? That's the question. Will we see a second dock coming out for Vortix? That's the question as well. This is interesting play, actually. I don't mind it at all, because if he manages to get a second dock, that would be really, really key, but the scout might notice. I think the scout's going to notice. Yep, the scout notices. That's a problem. The second villager coming out. He needs to try and get that dock up if he can. And the importance of the second dock is that he'll be able to double produce galleys. Of course, he needs to make sure he's got a competitive uptime though. And you just get the feeling that things will favour the defender's advantage on the docks, when it's galleys versus galleys especially. All villagers being used to build the council hall. 5 for Vortix. So Vortix just sacrificing another villager for resource gathering to try and get that earlier uptime. Where's that second dock now? Up and running for HuT. Will Vortix commit to the same? That is indeed the case. Vortix committing to the same. Vortix will get to the feudal age quicker. I'm not sure that helps him all that much, because of course both players will be looking to get the galleys out. I don't think they'll be able to produce on both docks anyway right off the bat. And Vortix, he'll need to muster a lot of army before he can take a good fight and be aggressive. Of course, being aggressive is not always too well rewarded on water fights, especially when you've got the dock healing capability for your galleys. There's that council hall going up. Will HuT look to try and pull some villagers to build the council hall once he notices his opponent's up, or would he just wait for a bit longer? Doesn't have to wait all that long. More villagers coming out on gold. Will we see the galleys being queued up? Not yet. Oh, yep. We do see out of one dock there. As you can see, Vortix can't even produce from both docks, so going up a little bit earlier doesn't necessarily help him all that much. HuT opting to go for an outpost on that gold position. Doesn't want to be pushed off. Might get a good arrow attack there on the scout. Yeah, it does. Gets a good hit on them. There's the council hall. There's the feudal age. HuT queuing up a galley as well. He needs to secure that gold vein. That is for sure. Now the issue is that Vortix will have a second galley out earlier, but he will have to travel a long distance to get to his opponent, of course, on that shoreline, on that coast. Villagers keep coming out to gold for HuT, as expected. Going for a stable as well, maybe for some horsemen. Looking to maybe pile on some pressure on the land, opting for the maneuverability of the horsemen. over longbows, it seems. Longbows are coming out for Vortix. This is actually quite smart. The horseman will be able to counter those longbows that are coming out. So being second to the punch is often quite nice. You can react to what your opponent's doing and get the upper hand in these ways. As of course, he probably saw the longbows, goes for a stable, will be able to counter the longbows. Galleys are coming out now. Galley just try and come out Vortix, try and get some damage, but has to head back home. We'll be probably leading HuT towards the second galley that he's produced. Longbow's trying to get some damage. There is a longbow out for HuT as well. Needs to backtrack though. Won't be able to take 2 versus 1. Has he hidden the stable? Horseman not out just yet. Has been queued up. Trying to bide his time on land. 2 galleys have come out for HuT now. 3 on the waters for Vortix. Could come down to a big water fight. We shall see. Scout garrison inside the outpost means the outpost will be able to do damage without needing arrow slits, just for now at least. But he's sacrificing vision for that. Horseman pops out. We'll be sniping that scout, that's for sure. The horseman has a faster attack speed, and there's no longbows in defense here for Vortix. Try and protect that scout, that's for sure. Oh, looks like HuT might get some value here. 2 galleys looking to move out onto the fishing ships. Where are the galleys for Vortix? They're heading forward as well. 3 off them. Well, Vortix, it might be able to do a lot of damage here. HuT notices, but he's kind of trapped here. He's trapped. He's not going to be able to escape without losses. Look at the galleys mixing about. And you see some galleys being taken, some fishing ships being taken out for Vortix though. Only 2 galleys though for HuT there. Has a galley in defense. Loses another fishing ship. Just get the feeling that HuT got trapped there for quite a period of time. 3 galleys versus the 1. That's a problem. 2 galleys though are there for HuT. Will he be taking a trade against the galley there? Yep, he will. Another galley will be coming out soon. 3 versus 1 here is a bit of a problem, and he might even start to focus on fire on the fishing ships. Fishing ships being brought to help in the fight, it seems. Not sure what these guys are doing. Trying to help with healing maybe? I don't know. There are 2 galleys on the field now for HuT. Should be able to do some damage. Obviously, Vortix doesn't have the healing capabilities there. 2 versus 1. It looks like HuT's actually got a better deal here. It's going to take out the fishing ships instead of the galleys. Now it focuses on the fishing ships. Yeah, it's going to take those out first. Do the eco damage. Going to try and chase this one down. Should be able to get the kill there. Oh, manages to get away with it there, Vortix maybe. That would be significant if he does. He's now pushing the galleys away for HuT. Was looking good at the beginning, but now not so good. Galley here needs to be brought home for HuT. He needs to repair that. He might lose it. Gonna send a fishing ship. Look at that. Perfect play there by HuT. Great micro. Gonna sacrifice the fishing ship for the galley, that's for sure. It's definitely worth it. Still 2 versus 1 there, with 2 more galleys being added to the mix. 3 versus 4. HuT does have the home advantage. Well, 4 versus 4, but some of them is a weak 5 now. 5 versus 4, but a couple of them are weak there for HuT. Let's take a look what's happening on land. Not much. There is a barracks on the field though for Vortix. Keeping an eye. Should be able to get a couple of spearmen out, but the gold villagers are at risk here. 3 horsemen going forward. It might not be able to get a villager kill, but definitely causing a lot of idle time. That's the problem for Vortix. He won't be able to maintain production of his galleys. Although he's got a lot of gold in the bank already, so it won't be too big of a deal. And HuT just healing up. He doesn't want to take an unnecessary fight, that's for sure. Longbowman there on the right. Horseman going to try and dive in, get a villager kill building a house. Possibly. The villagers garrison inside the town centre, which they do. That'd be devastating. Look at the wood line, very exposed. We've seen in other games. It's not really a problem though if you're playing as the English. You can shoot these guys down, doing decent damage out, but galley fight ensues. HuT bringing the micro to the table. Bringing his weak galley back home, and now he's chasing them down. 5 galleys versus 4. Vortix going to add a 5th though. Oh, longbows and spearmen there. Going to be denying those villagers. The horsemen are nowhere to be found. Well, Vortix mismicroing this. He left us one here. He didn't notice. He's going to lose one for free. Or at least close to be. Oh, he's just about to get away with it. But HuT might dive in and then run in, snipe and run back out. We shall see. He decides to take that fight. No, he won't be able to chase it down. He's committing though. HuT is committing. He's desperate to get that kill. Oh no, another galley comes out. Misplay there by HuT. He's going to get this all lost here. That's a big sacrifice. He wasn't able to get the kill. Back at home, only 2 galleys. He's going to rush them forward, but not going to get there in time. And Vortix is going to win the water fight. A mistake there for HuT. And he's off of the wood as well. Vortix looking strong in this game. The horsemen do pop out now, but there are spearmen on hand. That's a problem. That is a problem for HuT. He's going to lose a lot of the horsemen. He's not careful. Lacking the wood. That is the only real safe wood line. He's relying on stragglers for now. The wood is needed for galleys as well, and that's a big problem. Had to emphasize it. Vortix not going to move forward with a lot of galleys, 4 of them. HuT going to try and take advantage of the defender's advantage, but even then he's struggling for wood here so much. Spears have been cleared up though by the short bows. Still 1 spear there alive, but getting good damage against the horseman. Still 2 longbows alive. The 2 longbows will be cleared up, but he caused so much idle time. 43 economy for HuT, 43 for Vortix, even Stevens. Here comes the fight. Vortix taking the fight to HuT. Defender's advantage though, firmly in the HuT's position. Going to micro back the weak galley. Vortix decides to head back home. Rightly so. Look at HuT though, he's got plenty of food, plenty of gold. He wasn't being able to maintain production of galleys. That might be a blessing in disguise. If he can defend his position, might be looking to get Castle Edge. Getting access to Castle Edge can unlock a bounty full of good things, including the Hulk. Iron Undermesh coming in for HuT. Need to upgrade those units for the horsemen. Makes them a bit more tankier, especially against the longbows, but not against the spears. He needs to be careful about those spears. Charging into the spears. Oh no, HuT loses 2 horsemen for free. That is very painful. Now has to back off. Can't take an effective fight there at all. Get the feeling that if you're HuT, he's got 2 stables, but really what he needs is longbows. If he goes full longbows, he'll be able to take a decent fight. Spearmen wouldn't be all that relevant at that point, but let's go for horsemen and longbows. And it's going to be very, very far away from that Castle Age time. Continuing with the galley production. Understandably so. Now is quite defensive here, HuT. Trying to get the palisade walls to protect that wood line. Pretty important. Try to go around on the left side with the horsemen. Maybe look to try and snipe out the dock. Won't be able to. There's galleys on hand. Where are those galleys? The galleys are heading towards the middle of the map. This could be key, actually. The horsemen might be able to take out the docks. Or at least do damage to one of them. Heading towards the wood line, maybe. Galleys there. Vortix really doubling down on the numbers there. Taking a decisive fight. He feels so many of them. We talked about this. The defender's advantage. To be overcome, you need a big decisive fight. HuT backing off there. And trouble is, he's not going to have healing from the second dock. Only from the primary one. And Vortix going to pull away the weak one. Does lose 1 galley, but so does HuT. Has the numbers advantage, that's for sure. Suspect 1 more galley is going to go down. That is the case. HuT going to lose everything. Snowballing happening. Horseman diving on the wood line. Going to keep the economy idle. I'm not sure it's going to be enough here because he's going to lose the waters. Losing the waters is quite significant. A lot of fish to be had. Could even trade. You have the trade ports on either side here. Back at home. The longbows just putting some pressure with the spears. Horsemen diving in, trying to get village kills, but the trouble is when you dive like this you lose your army. When you lose your army you've got nothing to defend with, and he does need defense there on the right side. Galleys win the waters. HuT is probably going to be struggling. Going to lose the fishing economy, that's for sure. Going to need to transition to farms. Lots of idle time being caused there though. Vortix got villages that he doesn't know what to do with. Vortix. There's a lot of idle time there. He's noticed now. He does now go back to the wood line. He's won the waters. That's so significant. Lots of free food to be had. Will we see some trade ships? I mean, it would pay in the long term. As you can see, he's doubling down on the fishing ships now. Look at that. Queuing up from 2 docks. Horsemen do come out. Do snipe out the remainder of the... Well, I think there was 1 spearman that was sniped out. Trouble is, HuT is now being denied on the wood. The spears and archers got in. The horsemen are going to dive in. The longbows for HuT, going to try and snipe out as many spearmen as can. The short bow is being used as well. The spearmen go down. HuT will be able to clear this up. That is a big if. Still 4 spearmen there in the mix. Halies get deployed very nicely there for Vortix. Horsemen going to dive in. Spearmen on hand. Short bows taking out the spearmen. The spearmen go down. The archers will go down. The spearmen are going down, but horsemen are dwindling in numbers, has to be said. Not sure what the horsemen are doing. Why they're not attacking? They're backing off. Crazy stuff. The water firmly in control of Vortix, and the fishing economy is going to start to boom here. Will we see a castle age behind this? Vortix has plenty of gold, just needs the food now. That food will be coming slowly from the fishing. Villagers there on the sheep. The sheep will be running out. May need to transition to berries, or will have a hard transition to farms. Got plenty of food though for HuT. Maybe looking to get to the castle age himself with the second town centre perhaps, in the form of the King's Palace. Villagers coming out. He's going to go for another town centre. Holy moly. I wasn't expecting that. Going to get a second town centre on that gold. Needs the economy on land. 62 versus 47, and that's because of these town centers. I say town centers, they're actually docks, but you could have fooled me because these guys are producing workers in the form of fishing ships. First stock goes down for HuT. Can't defend that position, really. Longbows and spears versus longbows and horsemen. There comes the castle age for HuT. What's it gone up with? It's gone up with the King's Palace in a nice spot there on the wood line. Offers a lot of protection. Rushing it up with 12 villagers. Gives them a bit of an advantage, tech advantage on the land. But guess what? Vortix is up as well, going with the King's Palace themselves. So we'll have 2 town centers and 2 docks versus the 3 town centers effectively. Certainly know which one I would want. Definitely in the docks. Oh, this is sneaky by HuT, getting 2 docks here on the west side. That's really significant because the galleys are preoccupied there on the right. HuT looking to cripple the fishing economy, snuck one villager across. We didn't notice it until now. HuT was secretive about it. There's that castle age though for HuT and Vortix coming in very much the same side, the same time. That is hugely surprising. Jeez, they're really mirroring each other, that's for sure. Here comes the attack with the horsemen underneath the King's Palace. We're looking to snipe some villagers. Question is, what will be the army composition of choice? HuT will have a nice transition into knights, and that is the case, going for the knights. Will Vortix do the same? That is the question. Woodline is kind of idle right now. Producing HuTs. Now this could catch Vortix out. Vortix is not expecting this at all. Oh no. What did he just do? Vortix, no. I think he deleted the galleys. I don't know why. Maybe he wanted population space. I have no idea why. Why did he do that? It might be a misclick, who knows? But it's a bit painful because he's going to be up against HuT soon. Sure, the galleys won't be able to do all that much damage, but you need every little bit of help you can get. Let's take a look at the economy. 69 for Vortix, 55 for HuT. He's back off now with the horsemen. The trouble for HuT is that his army is pretty easily counterable with the spears. Monster going down, looking to get some relics here, Vortix. That's a knight of his own. No real numbers of spearmen on the field though for HuT. Looks like he's going full knights. Things are starting to settle down now, but you feel like something's brewing, especially with the army heading forward now. The veteran archers, veteran longbows, a couple of knights. We'll be able to snipe a couple of villages. We'll be idle in a lot of the economy. Longbows haven't been upgraded by HuT. Here comes the attack. Horseman surrounding a knight. Knight diving in, tanking a lot of the arch damage. The veteran archers are going to fire against the longbows. There is a town centre involved. I'm not sure you want to dive in too close there, Vortix. He's going to snipe a villager or 2. Hulks biding their time. HuT moving forward now with 4 Hulks. Going to damage a lot of the fishing economy. That's going to be crippling for Vortix. Or will it be crippling enough? Because looks like HuT's been pressurised on land. That's a big problem. Isn't able to produce numbers of knights. He's double producing from 2 stables, but the veteran archers just diving in, picking off the longbows, picking off the army. Here come the HuT. They are wreaking havoc. Question is, the HuT are focusing on the docks rather than the fishing ships. Kind of understandable. At the same time, Vortix not having the galleys on play to fight that off. And I think at this point, Vortix is quite happy with the food that he got from the fishing ships. He might just transition to full land. We shall see. Oh, he's going for man-at-arms, maybe. He could continue with the spears. We shall see if it's spears or man-at-arms. Let's see what his economy's kind of equipped to handle. Doesn't really look equipped to handle the gold. Vortix has 15 villages on gold. What's he spending it on? Now it looks like HuT is winning the waters. Will he be transitioning to fishing ships? He will indeed. Gathering some fish. It'd be nice for HuT's food economy, but he's going to need a bit more than that. Because he's struggling at the moment. 73 villages. He's starting to catch up a little bit. But the military is what tells us tale. 21 versus 41. And that's why I say he's struggling. Although a lot of the numbers will be coming from the veteran longbows for Vortix. Which can be relatively easily dealt with the knights. Well, the veteran longbows are still pretty strong. Fishing ships are now going down for Vortix. The HuT's coming out for the English Castle Age for HuT. Oh, villages being denied on stone there. Looks like HuT was saving up for a keep. But guess who will be able to afford a keep very soon? Vortix. With a military presence on the land, he might look to get a keep on the front lines. We'll see if that's what he opts for. Galley going to be taken down by 4. Hulks, the fishing ship's being kept away. Can they survive? The Hulks aren't particularly fast, has to be said. One Hulk going up against the galley. The longbows heading forward again, looking to snipe villagers and gold. The problem for HuT, he doesn't really have safe access to gold at this point. Nothing in the south. He has a gold vein he might be able to access there, but this gold vein is struggling. That's the issue for HuT. And I think Vortix recognizes this. If he can deny this town center, if he can deny this gold, that could be the key to this game. Things are heating up. Fishing ships will be going down for Vortix. I don't think he can really do too much more about that. Well, he could, but he's not opting to. He's going to be focusing far on the town centers. Diving underneath the town centers, a couple of man-at-arms being added. It is man-at-arms. It is man-at-arms. That's the play here for Vortix. Getting armored clad as well. Those man-at-arms are going to be a bit too difficult to deal with for HuT. And a forward keep. Yeah, this is a game that Vortix is very much in control over. Look at the military count, 39 to 25. HuT doesn't have the counter he needs here. Fishing ships go down, sure, but doesn't seem like HuT has much time on his hands. He needs a response, he needs it fast. He's going to lack gold. Can't really produce gold units HuT here. And he needs an answer for the man-at-arms. He can't produce crossbows. This is fantastically played by Vortix. The man-at-arms transition probably going to be the death knell here. Villagers scrambling towards the gold. Vortix is aware as it's sending a knight there. Villager's going to be caught out, and Vortix might double down on that position. In fact, just one knight will be enough. Yeah, Villager's going to be taken out. Trying to get villagers on this gold vein as well if you can, but the knights are going to chase. Knights chasing for Vortix as well. Man-at-arms going to engage with longbows behind. The longbows still doing decent damage output, has to be said. Man-at-arms take a good trade here. Armored clad coming in clutch. Looks like he keeps going on that gold mine. He needs this HuT. He needs to get this keep up if he can. He probably will, but how long will he last for? Because I think the man-at-arms are going to dive deep in, and the trouble for HuT is he's got a keep in his face. Has a mangonel. That could be able to do some damage, but he needs a trebuchet really. He needs to get rid of this keep. Might be able to damage the villagers. Villagers not responding. Vortix got to take a lot of losses on those villagers. No textiles involved. And he gets another hit. Villagers go down. There are still more there. I don't think that keep's going to go up. Looks like it's going to be a doubt keep. Although actually, if the mangonel gets sniped by the man-at-arms, which might be the case, still 4 villagers remain. That is very, very key. Knights will want to focus those down. But in doing so, he'll be taking damage for those man-at-arms. Gets that keep up in the end. Villagers on that gold. I think Vortix knows about it. Machine economy looking good here for HuT. Not too bad. Keep doesn't get taken up just yet, but the man-at-arms is the problem. Vortix doesn't have a is not countered here. The man-at-arms is just going to torch everything down with the longbows as well. HuT really struggling here. He's lost his wood line. 78 villagers versus 69. The problem is the idle economy. If the siege workshop gets taken down, the King's Palace gets taken down, that's going to be a problem. The longbows in the meanwhile are sniping down these knights. The knights are trying to run around to the man-at-arms, but they can't get close because of the longbows, and he's struggling here. More villagers being sent here for Vortix to complete that keep. That keep goes up, that's going to be a problem. King's Palace goes down, siege workshop's going to go down, it's on fire. Outpost as well with, I think, 5 villagers garrison aside are going to be going down as well. Man-at-arms charging in. Not much that HuT can do here. Gathering stone, but won't have enough for another keep for a while. And so much idle economy. And without gold, without wood, HuT can't get a trebuchet. He can't push this keep back. Lots of army dancing around his main base. This is looking to be a problem here. And even with gold now, that won't be enough because the villager count is looking at 82 versus 67. There's so many villagers are idle there. 21 is idle there. And there's the GG. HuT taps out. Vortix evens out the set 2-2 on Holy Island. The mirror match ends with Vortix winning over HuT, evening the score. Game number 5 will be coming right up. Here we are, ladies and gents. Game number 5. Things are really heating up between Vortix and HuT. 2 apiece on Lipini now. On the northeast corner of the map in blue is Vortix playing as the Delhi Sultanate, and in the southwest in red is HuT as the Abbasid dynasty. Both are berry brothers, I like to call them. 2 civilizations that have berry bonuses and cannot take the boar. They have an Islamic heritage behind them, and that's the reason why they can't take the boar. With the early mosque being put down for the Delhi Sultanate, this will be an interesting matchup. I'm very excited about this matchup. We don't see it all that often. But the Abbasid dynasty and the Delhi Sultanate are both civilizations that can really excel in the feudal age, have an extended feudal age, and actually pack a punch in the feudal age, because the Delhi Sultanate can double produce from their buildings with efficient productions from the mosque. As you can see, that's the first research that's being actually looked into for the Delhi Sultanate scholars. And it is that it allows the scholars to garrison inside a military building, boosting production by 100% in speed. It means you save 150 wood per production building. Doesn't sound like a lot, but over time it can build up, but especially in the early game, it can pay dividends very quickly. The Abbasid dynasty in the feudal age can be very aggressive because of the fact they can opt for a second town centre, but more importantly, they can have access to the fresh foodstuffs technology, which reduces the cost of their villages by 50%. And that means that food can be invested in military in the feudal age in particular. It really lends themselves to get a lot of horsemen on the field, which is usually units of choice for both civilizations to open up with. We shall see if that decides to be the case, as we see villagers now, of course, on berries there for Vortix. What's interesting though, HuT is delaying going to the berries. I'm not entirely sure why. Actually, I do know why. He is not looking to spend the wood just yet. Of course, he will need that wood for the House of Wisdom. Actually struggling on the wood. There it is, getting it now. Scout, going around to get some sheep. Quite nice at this stage of the game if you're playing as one of these two civilizations. You can take your scout, don't have to worry about bringing the sheep back home, because often you'll be on berries, although HuT will be taking this first sheep first and then maybe transitioning to berries a little bit later because he's struggling on the wood. And it comes down to the fact that the wood needs to be spent on the House of Wisdom to be built. That is the landmark that enables them to get up to the next stage. It will usually be the economic wing. As to be said, it's a bit of an awkward start here, it feels, for HuT. Kind of lacking on the food. Going quite heavy on gold and wood. Very surprising, actually. Very curious build. In any case, it's because he's going to be looking perhaps to get wheelbarrow eventually. Once he gets the mill up, I think that's probably the next priority for him. Now he's getting the economic wing. He has clicked up for a second there. Did seem like the economy was out of kilter, but it's actually fine. It's absolutely fine. It's got 4 villages on food. We're getting that food nice and quickly. Enough to support one town centre. Just need 4 villages on food. And now it's transitioning on to the stone. Has enough there for fresh foodstuffs rather. Needs 125 gold. It's got 130, so perfectly timed there by HuT. Confusion was brought about because I didn't realise he had clicked up. And that is the case. Dome of the Faith now going up for Vortix, so we'll be a little bit later the next stage. It's actually quite common there for the Delhi Sultanate, this kind of timing. Not opting for the Tower of Victory today. And villagers are being harassed there on the stone pile. 2 scouts there for Vortix. Interesting to see how many scouts that HuT actually went for. It was 2 himself as well. Things pretty slow to get going often with the Delhi Sultanate versus the Abbasid dynasty, but I'm sure things will quicken up as time goes on in the feudal age. I can almost guarantee it to you. 7 villages on stone. Looks like HuT's very desperate to get that stone income so we can get 300 stone. Getting a decent amount of wood as well. The question is, where does he go for his second town centre? Might be opting for the deer patch. It's a bit far away though. Maybe a bit of a precarious position to go for actually. Not sure he'll risk it. As they say, sometimes no risk it, no biscuit. Would be a nice spot though. Deer. That's commonly what's done, but it is far out, and especially with Vortix now in the feudal age, it would be very risky. Let's just see if HuT decides to take that risk or not. Vortix going down with a stable as expected, and a blacksmith. We'll be looking to get those free upgrades. Don't forget the Delhi Sultanate. Get the eco upgrades and the attack upgrades, blacksmith upgrades, every upgrade for free really. And looks like the villagers are going to go on deer. He is going to risk it. And will there be a horseman coming out? No, the stable's taking quite a while to build there. Using 1 villager to do so. So the town centre should go up quite nice and easily. Putting the villagers off food to do so as well. Where are these guys going? Looks like they're going for the wood, yeah. Makes more sense for them to go to wood. He needs a production building here, HuT. Might be opting for a barracks when he sees the stable. Or if he sees the horseman. Horseman is queued up. Will take some time to produce. No scholar, garrison inside, so yeah. Just the usual timings here. Scholars instead are going into the mosque, getting Sanctity now. Sanctity is a nice tech for the Delhi Sultanate. Allows scholars to capture sacred sites before the Castle Age. And sacred sites generate 50% more gold. That's why we talk about Feudal Age being important for the Delhi Sultanate. Because it means that they can go for those sacred sites, and it's often that the opponent needs to challenge for it. It's usually the case that the Abbasid dynasty goes for heavy Feudal Age themselves anyway, so not too much of a game plan change here for HuT, I suspect. Getting a double stable there. Wants that map control. Actually thinks twice about where it's positioned. He wants it further forward. But the villager count will start to be building up for HuT. That's quite significant. Let's take a look at that. 25 versus... It's actually even now at the moment. Just one ahead. Town centre hasn't been up and running for very long, I suppose. Double stable archery range. Might be looking to get some camel archers. Those could be quite useful in a fight against horsemen. And the Delhi Sultanate getting a barracks. Might be looking to get spears out. Horseman spears maybe the play of choice for Vortix. Keeping a couple of eyes on the sacred sites there with the horsemen. Golden Age Tier 1 is now in for HuT. Base building is very key and important for the Abbasid dynasty. Getting a mill now. Now looking to take the berries. A bit curious that he was going for the sheep first. Interesting to see that kind of play there with the Abbasid dynasty. Guess it doesn't matter too much as long as it's all been taken up. 2 stables and a barracks and an archery range. This is commonly what's done here by the Abbasid dynasty. You get one production building at least of each. The Delhi Sultanate tend to do that as well, and you can see now the barracks are being double produced. Now the key issue here is that the infantry of choice, instead of archers, was spearmen. That'll counter the horsemen, but not only that, the spearmen can build static defences in the form of palisades around these sacred sites, and that might be what he is opting to do. 2 sacred sites on this area here. Actually, wait. There's just one. The sacred sites are very evenly split, actually. All things considered for Lipany, this is actually quite a good spawn, because often on Lipany you can have 2 sacred sites kind of skewed onto one side of the map. Scout now is aware of the scholar. Scholar will be taken down. Where's the scholar going? He's going far forward. He's overshooting a little bit. Not sure why he's doing that. That's a bit awkward, isn't it? Oh, he's dragging him towards the horseman. That's a bit smart. That's very, very smart. Scholar coming out. The scholar will be able to heal the horseman up as well. He's going to decide to micro and run around. Central sacred site has been taken under control. That's 150 gold. Right side of sacred site was looking to be taken, but HuT sent some horsemen there. That won't go down. There are 2 spearmen though. In fact, looks like HuT's trying to kill out the scholar, and the scholar will go down, but at what cost? Because he's going to lose 2 horsemen here. Denies the sacred site. That's actually worth it. 150 gold per minute is huge. Sacred site on the left side looking to be taken though. Scout just aggroed the boar there in the end, I think. 2 horsemen and a camel archer looking to try and snipe the scholar. But the Abbasid dynasty should be able to deal with that. Vortix doesn't really have anything there. Scholar going down. Only the one sacred site for Vortix for now. Brings that scholar back home in the middle. And looking to double down on the sacred site on the right side. Gonna get the walls with the palisades with the spears. Doesn't have a scholar there though yet. He's gonna need one. There he is, making his way over there. Left sacred site has been denied. Central one still be controlled with a scout, but he's looking to secure the right-sided one first. Look at the army that's heading forward for the Abbasid dynasty. Looking strong here with that second town centre. Let's take a look at the village count. 37 for HuT, 32 for Vortix. Sometimes the Delhi can opt for a second town centre themselves, but he's not doing so today. But he needs that. He needs to keep hold of the sacred sites. Look at the military numbers starting to really build up for HuT. 14 versus 26. Where is Vortix's military? I think it's all here in the south. Oh, he's not walling this up. Spearman, look alive. Wake up, wake up. Instead, horseman goes towards the deep side of the base. Doesn't get too much value. Sacred site being decapped by 1 horseman. Vortix having to head back home. He's struggling here. Doesn't really have the military he needs. The spearman not building this up, not closing it off. That's a problem. He could have walled that up by now. And instead, HuT going to move down on the right side. That's a bit painful there. Bit of a misplay there. Central sacred site. Oh, the decap doesn't happen. He sent some spearmen there in the centre. So that sacred site will remain in the Delhi Sultanate hands. The army's heading towards the south, and Vortix is going to be a bit annoyed about this, I suspect. He could have been building this, but he wasn't. He reacts now, but a bit too late. Scholar going to come out. Spearman going to rush down the walls. Actually, the walls might go up. Scholar, get back in there. You're not going to survive. Walls go up. Oh, he should have kept the Spearman inside, actually. If he kept the Spearman inside, he could have built it from within. In any case, there is Camel Archer that would have focus fired on that. They will break in now pretty easily. Unfortunately for Vortix there, misses out on that. Could have had that Sacred Site for a lot longer. It is what it is. Look at the gold income for Vortix though, looking strong. Because of those Sacred Sites. Primarily. It does have 3 villages on the gold as well. Right-sided Sacred Site is being decapped. I don't think that can be denied. Looks like a couple of horsemen going to be heading towards the middle. Oh, Barry's going on the left side. Just be careful not to alert HuT to this position. There's no static defenses there. That's pretty exposed. And if HuT decides to send units there, that could become a problem. Decapping the central Sacred Site now as well. And decent amount of gold for Vortix, but he spent it. What's he spent it on? I think it's balancing economy. I think he bought some food perhaps. That's what he's kind of struggling on. Always looking to activate the Sacred Site on the left side. That could be a mistake though. Because that's going to alert the horsemen. Horsemen, archers. Might move that side. That is the case. Actually no, the horsemen going to go right-sided. That's a bit of a strange decision. He's looking to do eco damage instead, and that's what he does actually. He's heading into the wood line. Looking to see if these are on these barriers at the back, and he is. There's a lot of villages there exposed, and HuT's sending them there. And wood line being exposed here. Villages going down. Sacred Site on the left side has been captured. And just get the feeling that the Abbasid dynasty really do well here against the Delhi Sultanate. Because don't forget, HuT is on 2 town centres here. 32 versus... Sorry, 54 versus 38. That is a big difference. Vortix might be opting for the Castle Age though. Yes, that's Sacred Site on the left. Oh wow, there's a lot of army on the front lines. We didn't see that. I was wondering where the army was for Vortix. They were hiding. Is he looking to get the Sacred Site on the right side? Would he actually wall this up this time? Would he remember? Hopefully so. In any case, he's got his army on the front lines. Gold villages of gold for HuT. This is actually a scary army to deal with. HuT's army out of position. Going around the left side. Where are those villages though? Being pulled. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, not like this. These villages will be going down. HuT notices, or at least horsemen are triggered by the aggroed. But back at home, villages are on 6s and 7s. Sacred Sites have been activated. He needs to wall this up. Oh, goddamn Spearman. Wall it up, damn it. It's just so frustrating to watch. I can't imagine how frustrating it is to play that Spearman not doing his job. Now the villagers on the barriers do go down. We talked about it before, how the precarious that position was. Village count going to be terrible for Vortix. Only 40 versus 60. For any villager lead, that is extensive. That is a big, big difference. Spearmen being brought forward to defend those villagers. On the retreat, we'll be able to bring those villagers back home. 6 survive. A lot of idle time caused as well. And a lot of the army back at home. Wow, that's a lot of villagers and wood there, my man HuT. Struggling. Needs to get these people chopping something. He's opting for wood. Struggling for the gold. I think we see the Castle Age now for Vortix rather. But what has he gone up with? Has he gone for Castle Age? No, he hasn't. He hasn't. He's actually sold his gold. And this is quite key for the Delhi Sultanate. They can often abuse the market like this. They use the extra gold that they have from the Sacred Sites, and this is a lot of gold. This is 450 gold per minute. That's more than 10 villages. So that we talk about the eco balance and the eco differential here. It's not as extensive as you think. The difference is not as big as you think. With Rams coming in for the Delhi Sultanate, Vortix looking strong here. Don't forget, there are only 2 landmarks he has to focus on. He's going to rush in with the Spearman. He doesn't care. Vortix has the upgrades. Don't forget, despite there being villager differences, don't forget Delhi Sultanate gets the eco upgrades for free. So every villager is just that more efficient. As you can see, HuT doesn't have double broad axe, but guess what? Delhi Sultanate most definitely does. Spearmen rushing in, going to take care of the horsemen. Rams, 2 rams are there. Rams need to be microed. Spearmen need to get involved in the fight against the horsemen. 1 ram does go down. A couple of archers as well. The archers will focus on each other. HuT's archers will be dying as they pop out of their arch range. Spearmen taking the chase on the horsemen. Villagers might have to pop out from the town centre to take care of the ram, because the ram's getting damage here. The archers are on hand. Villagers at 6s and 7s. 20 villagers ahead, but he's running out of time here because of the fact the Sacred Sites are in play for Vortix, and that is huge. Looks like the central Sacred Site is looking to be decapped, but loses a lot of horsemen to spears. I don't think he noticed that, HuT. On the front base, he's being pressurised severely. 46 villagers for Vortix, 68 for HuT. Does have the ability to kind of rebuild with the economy because of the second town center, but a second ram being produced now. And that sacred site will be secure for a while now. Oh my god, this guy, he's just going to be guarding it. No need to build anything, it's okay. Just, you know, just guard it on your own. It is what it is. Sending villagers out on the left side again in a precarious position. HuT trying to get the berries on the front line, trying to get some static defenses. 2 outposts, 3 outposts. But Vortix will recognize that. It's really starting to build up a large military number. Look at it. 54 military for Vortix, 29 for HuT. He lost a lot on the last altercation. Look at the army composition. It's spearmen, horsemen. And I think that's just better than the horsemen archers there. Sure, the micro ability can be there for the archers, but it does need that micro ability. He's got it. HuT, that is for sure one of the best micro players in the game, Age of Empires 4. There's a couple of archers there for Vortix as well. So Vortix just needs to focus on the archers with his archers. Horsemen against the horsemen. Or archers, depends what he wants. And spearmen against the horsemen, that's for sure. Here comes the push. 3 rams will take that outpost down quickly. Villagers will go down as well if this army doesn't survive. And this is a bad fight for HuT. The spearmen getting huge damage against the horsemen. This could be the big fight that turns the game. Archers versus archers. The horsemen died very quickly. And there it is. There's a GG. The Delhi Sultan reigns supreme on Lipany. Vortix takes game number 5. Makes it 3-2. And for the first time in this set, Vortix takes the lead. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. As we head into game number 6, Vortix does have that lead 3-2. And we are now on Altai. And in the southeast corner of the map is Vortix playing as the Abbasid dynasty. And in the northwest, we've got HuT playing in red as the Holy Roman Empire. HuT needs to win this game and the next one to even have a chance. Well, if he wins this one, he will push it to a game number 7. So it's very crucial he does, because if Vortix wins this, he will be the lad that gets over to the main event. He will have that golden ticket to Redbull Wololo Legacy in Germany, in Castle Heidelberg. And with the Holy Roman Empire versus the Abbasid dynasty, we see a very interesting matchup on Altai. With the Holy Roman Empire, when you're against them, you'll often want to be aggressive. You'll want to try and delay them as much as you can to the Castle Age, deny the relics as much as you can, delay the Imperial Age time for them for their Palace of Swabia. There's often a delay tactics you need to employ against the Holy Roman Empire by being aggressive. But the thing is, the Abbasid dynasty aren't known to be all that aggressive, not in the feudal age at least, in terms of the early feudal age. In the mid to late feudal age, certainly they will be, if they can convert their economy of bonuses into army. But speaking about the Abbasid dynasty, they do have a strong window of opportunity of kind of crippling the Holy Roman Empire. And that can be because they can add multiple town centers, and if they get the fresh foodstuffs technology from the House of Wisdom, the villagers will be half price, and that is very significant because it really limits the amount of food cost of their economy booming. They can get 2 town centers, 3 town centers, 4 town centers without being a huge detriment to the economy, and they boost their economy incredibly with those extra villagers. What this does is gives them an opportunity to be able to build an economic lead, and then in the mid-castle age they can often translate that into a superior army. And what we can sometimes see in games with this matchup, the Holy Roman Empire, when they get to the Imperial Age, sure, they'll have Imperial Age units, and that can be incredibly powerful. But the Abbasid dynasty will have an incredibly strong Castle Age army because of the booming economy behind it. The Holy Roman Empire in that stage will want to try and defend themselves with walls if they can, and make sure that the Palace of Swabia gets them value, because the Palace of Swabia is usually the landmark that enables them to boost up the number of villagers and bridge that gap between the two economies. A map like Altai is usually quite a kind one to Holy Roman Empire, and we see that today. A simple wall across here and between the wood lines to the other cliff will offer him a lot of protection in the middle of the map. Of course, on the sides, small walls are needed. This is a little bit awkward though, it has to be said, with the berries. We'll need to do a diagonal wall there across the map to the edge of the map. On the other side, simple wall there for the Holy Roman Empire, could be quite useful. We need to talk about relics as well, because that's very important. We do have a relic at the back there, nicely situated, another relic in the middle. We'll see how aggressive the Abbasid dynasty can be, or whether he will opt for a second town centre first. Depends how Vortix wants to play this. 4 villagers on gold. We'll be looking to get wheelbarrow eventually as well. We're getting that age up now nicely with the economic wing, sending 7 villagers to berries. Having that food transition. Oh, this is very interesting. And rather surprising at the same time. He's going for the back berries with 7 villagers, no less. Stone is far forward. He's certainly not going for the forward stone, so it doesn't look like it's going to be 2 town centre play by Vortix. He's looking to be aggressive. He's not looking to do the booming approach with the Abbasid dynasty. He's worried about the castle age for HRE, and he'll be looking to pile on the pressure early on in this game, it seems. Only real explanation for having 7 villagers at the stage on berries as well. And did opt for that second scout as well. Needs to bring one of the scouts back home. Kind of low on HP there. Running away with 14 HP. Should be able to make it home, and there's that age up. I'm sure fresh food dust will be clicked. That is indeed the case. Actually, it looks like he might be going for that second town centre because there are 4 villagers going forward. What are these guys up to? Yep, okay, he's going to go for the second town centre. Going to stone now. Going to be a bit more delayed than it possibly could be, but possibly it could be because he's going to go for some units earlier on. I suspect we'll see a stable opening for the Abbasid dynasty. It's often what's done. Yep, 6 villagers on stone. It will be a 2 town centre build. Wheelbarrow now coming in for the Holy Roman Empire with the Arkan Chapel in a nice spot there. He has the Arkan Chapel on the gold. And also the villagers on stone. That's actually quite key because the villagers are actually walking to the mining camp and they're just within the range, as you can see. They're being inspired. Looks like it's going to be a 2 town centre build for HuT as well. So it's different mechanics here. Not going for the fast castle. Things certainly spicing up in this matchup. And this is quite nice to see actually from the Holy Roman Empire, because often we think about Holy Roman Empire and their fast castle timing, but in reality they have a very strong feudal age, guys. Because of the buff of the prelate by 40%, the gathering speed of these villages are incredibly fast. The prelate now going to garrison inside the Arkan Chapel. Has that wood income for a second town centre. Is going to be going on the front parts of the base, looking to secure that wood line and the deer patch in behind. Curious to see where Vortix decides to base his second town centre, maybe alongside the deer, maybe further out. It's not often you see a 2 town centre play by the Holy Roman Empire, but that's indeed the case. It looks like Vortix is going to put a forward outpost. He's sending villagers already? How many is he sending? 2? Yep. Sending 2, looking to get a town centre now on the berries and the stone. HuT should be able to see this coming though. There's that second town centre for HuT. Yeah, Vortix will be seen here. Those 2 villagers will be spotted. I think HuT might send some units, some villagers rather, to try and fight that off. And Vortix thinks better of it. He sends the 2 villagers back. A lot of idle time being caused because of that. But HuT will lose a scout underneath the town centre. Second town centre now is up and running. It's not often you say that, but Holy Roman Empire is going to have a better economy here at this stage. Fresh foodstuffs has come in the meantime. 5 villagers on gold. It would be interesting to see if we see multiple prelates on the field. We see 2 already. Will we see a third? Prelate's heading up to the villagers on the deer, I think, here. He's running around. I'm not sure what he's up to. Yeah, it's going to be split between the wood villagers and the gold villagers now. Fun fact, the prelate can only inspire 10 villagers at a time. So that has to be brought into consideration. Whilst we're going to try and take out the scout. Probably won't make it in time. The scout going to run back to the safety of the town centre. Very interesting start to this game, Altai. And HuT will be desperate to get a win here because he needs to. It is match point for Vortix. The last game was an interesting one, especially because that was the first time that Vortix has pulled ahead in this series. Give me a barracks going down, so the Abbasid dynasty committing to feudal age a bit with stable and a barracks. That's not untoward, it's quite often that happens. Look at the gold income for HuT. He may be looking to get to the castle age behind this. And all these villagers being inspired. Yeah, we see HuT walling up here nicely. We've talked about it on the channel before. When you age up, that's when you're most vulnerable. HuT recognises that. And is definitely respecting the Abbasid dynasty's ability to be aggressive. There's the town centre firing off on the horsemen. Oh, 2 horsemen will have to back off there. Won't be able to get too close. A few villagers on gold there for Vortix and might be eyeing up Castle Age himself. Certainly wouldn't blame him. Horseman continuing the charge for Vortix, and HuT is almost there. He's almost there on the food, almost there on the gold. One drop off from gold, a little bit in a couple of seconds will be enough. And will it be an aggressive? Because we have not seen a 2 town centre play from Holy Roman Empire for a long time. Will it be a Burger of Palace perhaps? Probably not. We shall see. As another prelate comes out, prepping for that Castle Age. Going to be inspiring more villagers on the deer. There's the age up gong, but one thing has to be brought into consideration. Whilst the pellets do mean that the villagers gather faster, it does mean they chew through the resources a lot quicker. There is still there intact to be taken though. Pellets are heading out to the relics positions, I suspect. Yep, getting a wall there just preemptively. Sending a prelate around, maybe to this relic here on the left side. Got a long journey ahead of him. It's going to be the Burger Palace. It is going to be the Burger Palace. I was thinking it might be the Regnix Cathedral, but it looks like HuT's going to be aggressive here in the Castle Age with man-at-arms. Vortix going to be going up soon, I suspect, as well. Let's just double check on that. I can't confirm just yet. It is indeed the case. Going up with the Culture Wing. Likely to get Preservation of Knowledge, reducing the cost of all technology by 30%. Very nice bonus for the Abbasid Dynasty. There is the Castle Age for HuT. Looks like Vortix going to try and keep out some of these relics from the hands of those prelates by walling them in. Prelates still making the perilous journey on the left side. We see the man-at-arms starting to come out here for HuT. Will Vortix be able to have something in response? Trouble is he can't speed up his age up. He has to defend himself for now. Does he have the archery ranges? That would be a key piece of detail. It doesn't. Has 2 stables. We'll be able to get some knights. Oh, the relic has been walled in there. And that's quite significant. The thing is, HuT is going to reveal his man-at-arms. That's a bit of a concern. He's revealed his man-at-arms play. He's going to try and torch down the wood to try and get the relic, but it doesn't have the element of surprise with the man-at-arms anymore. Now Vortix, will we see some crossbows or archers coming out? Essentially more stables. He's going to double down on the knights. That will give him some mobility. That's pretty impressive. That will be good for him. Should be able to get the relic there. Spears getting on involved in the action. Horsemen will be under pressure here from the spearmen from the Abbasid Dynasty. With quite a few man-at-arms. Man-at-arms should push that back. Oh, relic here wasn't picked up by the prelate in the end. I think a horseman sniped him. Oh, that's unfortunate there. No, just one relic in the possession for HuT at the moment. Good successful denial at the moment, but we do hear another relic being picked up. Might do a Wololo. Let's just see. Will we see HuT using a Wololo? Wololo. Will he get the Wololo? We shall see. Oh, the army backtrack. He thought about it. Vortix backs off. Backs off in time. Doesn't lose a single unit. And now he might dive. He might try and get the prelate. Prelate trying to run away behind the horseman, behind the man-at-arms. Good micro there. Vortix trying desperate to get hold of him. Trying to be blocked off though. Man-at-arms won't be able to be enough there. Spearmen, a couple of spearmen do go down. Prelate gets sniped, and this is a good play here by Vortix to deny the relics for as long as he can. Villagers going forward. What are these guys up to? It's going for the deer. But the key bit of information is the man-at-arms were focusing on the relic, and it does give time now for Vortix to get to that Castle Age himself, and you can see the archer range is coming down for those crossbows. And that'll be an important piece of detail. If Vortix can survive, that'll be key in this situation, but he's got a lot to survive here. A lot of man-at-arms here. How can this one turn around? You feel like man-at-arms should get some value. He's diving into the base though. Villagers are going to try and garrison inside the town centres, but a lot of them will be killed on the way there, it seems. Will it be a safe journey for a lot of them? It won't. A lot of them do get through. 2 die, 3, and maybe a 4th. Villagers are tumbling down, 5th and a 6th maybe. But the Abbasid Dynasty do have the ability to drop town centres later on in the game if they can. They won't hurt their food economy. The problem he has now is he's got a lot of man-at-arms in his base. He's got knights on hand, a couple of spearmen. Crossbows are trying to come out, but he's struggling here, Vortix. He needs to stay alive for as long as he possibly can. He's getting another archer range at the back. The crossbows will do enough damage if he can mass them up enough. The time is the man-at-arms are going to head towards that gold vein. That is a big problem. Vortix will need the gold for the crossbows. Doesn't really have that much in the bank. Might be because of the production queue. Let's just take a look at the production queue. Not a lot in there. Oh, actually, there's loads in there. And the archer rangers are fully producing. So that'll be key. Should be able to hold off for now. Crossbows are bearing the brunt of the fight. The villagers go back towards the gold. Man-at-arm numbers are dwindling underneath the town centre. Sacred Site on the left side being taken. I don't know if that's been taken or if just been activated because the prelate's moving over. And the man-at-arms are all but gone now. The Burger Palace rush is over. And the Abbasid dynasty can stabilise. Let's take a stock check on the village account. 58 for Vortix, 57 for HuT. HuT hasn't been able to produce as many villagers as you'd expect. That's rather surprising. That's because of the raiding from the Lancers. Wololo going off on the left side. Won't get the Horseman. Horseman will come back round to take that prelate on the relic with the relic. Villagers going on the left side towards the berries, I think. Lancers got some good value there. Another relic is being brought in though, so second relic for the Holy Roman Empire needs to be deposited in a monastery or an outpost, but where are the villagers? They're not doing too much. There's a Lancer there. It's just a long mining the gold. I don't know if that's a misclick. HuT gonna have a long walk for those villagers. Gonna build a market. No mining camp. Unless I'm missing it, Lancer heads back in, and with all that aggression, he's really struggling now. HuT will notice that problem though, I'm sure. Sees the Lancer. The Lancer does get taken down, and gold is being collected along a very long distance there. HuT, please do put a mining camp there. You need it there, my friend. How long is before he notices? Holy smokes, that's rough. Lancer numbers are starting to build up. Spearmen are coming out as well. A large number of crossbows. And the Burger Palace. Big investment, but Vortix up to the task. He's got the counter units, 64 villagers at 61, and HuT still doesn't have a mining camp. That's absolute disaster for him. Just hasn't noticed. He's got his mind elsewhere. Let's have that Sacred Site on the left side, which is now being decapped. Going for the right-sided hunt. There's that relic being protected by a spearman as well. Now he's got a mining camp finally there for HuT. He might be worried about how long he didn't have a mining camp there. Stone villagers. Vortix. That's enough for a keep. Vortix might go forward for a keep here. Certainly would be expected. Has 900 in the bank already. Will he go for outpost? I don't think so. Which will say he's actually decided he's going to go forward with his villagers. He knows he has enough stone. Doesn't have the wood for keeps, and it will be a keep there in a very strong position. Outpost going up with relics there. 3 relics, 3 outposts. Man, I was maybe looking to deny that position, but the trouble is he's got crossbows here. Spearman has a meat shield. The outposts won't be in range. The keep will go up, and that's going to be a problem for that wood line. Let's talk about wood lines, because HuT might have to transition to this wood line here. And he's actually open on the left side. This is a big problem here for HuT. He's not closed off here. Sure, he has a static defense of the town centre. This could be a precarious position. This is another way for Vortix to attack, and he's going through with Lancers. The keep goes up, fires on the villagers. How many villagers will go down? Maybe 2. Stone being denied as well, and that's a very key feature. That forward stone pile is key. No keep coming in for HuT anytime soon with that stone being denied. And here comes the push. Vortix might invest in Siege Workshop, and that is indeed the case. He's going for that Siege Workshop. He needs the wood. He needs gold. He's struggling for gold here, Vortix. Quite significantly, actually, as well. He's run out of that gold pile. He needs a transition. Where is he going off to for that gold? Maybe a forward one. It is indeed. He's got map control. He's also really starting to pump out those units. Getting the production buildings down. And we'll be able to afford a trebuchet. He's getting one. Rams are coming out as well. And that'll keep the Holy Roman Empire preoccupied. Well, there were rams being built. I'm not sure where they've gone exactly. I think he might have cancelled them, maybe. I was pretty surprised to see the rams in the first place. And I believe that's the case. I think he cancelled the rams. Much better to have the trebuchets. Struggling on the gold, though. Getting the crossbows, spears. That's the army composition of choice here for Vortix, and not a bad one. On the right side. Scout keeping an eye on things. But now, you're kind of worried for HuT. Does he have a Siege Workshop of his own? He's getting one. He needs some Springholds. We'll need to take care of that trebuchet coming out. Can afford the Imperial Age very soon. Emergency repairs coming out. And the outpost being fortified nicely. Will he be going for the Palace of Swabia? I suspect it will be the case. He's going for Palace of Swabia. Does have the stone pile here. But not all that stone, that much stone left in it. He's really rushing it up. They need to go out to some pocket economies on the left and right side. Kind of getting pigeonholed here. Kind of getting trapped. 82 villagers to 77. For some reason, Vortix is ahead. I'm not entirely sure. He actually has the same number of town centers, so it's rather surprising. Must be some idle time from HuT there. He did lose some villagers, to be fair, on that wood line. Man-at-arms going on the right side. That scout doing wonders in terms of getting intel. Vortix is going to need to wall up. HuT getting to the Imperial Age. Vortix needs to be careful about his position. He is open here. The scout was aware. When is he going to send villagers? Vortix. That could become a problem. We have to keep an eye on that. 2 trebuchets on the field now. We'll be looking to take the outpost. One outpost does go down, and the problem is the relic there. The prelate won't be able to access the relic because of the keep. Unless the keep doesn't focus fire, it doesn't. He sneaks away with the relic in the end. Vortix. In fact, he's not going to wall up, but he's going to bring his army back home. This is a big fight. HuT might lose everything here. There's crossbows, and man-at-arms rush in. They're going to engage with the spears, but the crossbows need to kite this down. And a full attack move. And he splits his army. Brings some of the crossbows into chase. The rest go back towards defending the trebuchets. There is a mangonel on the field as well. That'll take care of infantry. Emergency repairs going up, but because of the increased rate of cooldown, which is definitely needed for this emergency repairs technology, 2 trebuchets will take some time to eat through that outpost. Slowly but surely making his way through though. Village count will start to recalibrate or boost up for HuT because of the Palace of Swabia. 90 for HuT, 94 for HuT, 90 for Vortix. So the village elite does swing in the way of HuT. Trouble is, he doesn't have much map control. Does have a bombard. Now, having the Imperial Age is actually really strong for HuT. He has access to bombards now and Imperial Age units. Will he be able to push this back? That is the question. And there is a Springald here. 2 Springals being built on the field for Vortix. He's going to need more than 2. They keep under pressure now, and that is a concern for Vortix, that's for sure. If they keep coming up in a strong position, relics can be garrisoned inside that keep. There you have it. You feel like he needs some more outposts or more monasteries because of 3 relics not being in play here for HuT. Villagers are trying to keep that keep alive with stone. Crossbow is going to push this position. Villagers going to be going down here on the right. Won't necessarily be the end of the problem for HuT because he does have the Predator of Swabia, but trouble is he will be losing some map control there on the right side. There is a spring replacement. Man-at-arms diving in. They actually dived into the middle of the base, and villagers will be going down there for Vortix. That's actually painful. Losing a lot of the economy. Abbasid Dynasty villagers crying in distress. 3 trebuchets, 2 mangonels, springalds, a lot of siege on the field. And with Vortix trying to repair that keep, he might need to trade for some stone. He does. He buys some stone from the market. Crossbows are coming back. Man-at-arms aren't taking the villagers. They're going for the mill for some reason. That's a bit of a pain. A lot of man-at-arms will go down to the crossbows. More than enough to one-shot. Villagers are going down now. A couple of the man-at-arms do focus on the villagers, but the crossbows will clean that up. And then we'll head forward again. The keep does go down. 3 trebuchets on the field though still. 2 bombards for HuT. Now the Holy Roman Empire, if they can survive for a long period of time, they could potentially push us back, but the keep will go down. 3 trebuchets making short work of that. The trouble for HuT is he's running out of stone. And he's running out of stone big time. Does have a big stone pile he can take here, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's struggling somewhat. And that keep going down. HuT probably feels under a lot of pressure. 3 bombards. Spears are heading forward. Crossbows, 2 mangonels, 5 springalds, and this is the pressure of the 3 trebuchets focusing on the town centre. Here comes the fight. Not enough ground units, you feel, though, for HuT. Has the siege, has a mangonel. Will the mangonel do damage against the crossbows? They do a lot of damage against the crossbows, but the spears are enough to be a meat shield. The bombards get sniped by the springalds. That is a big problem. Only 1 more bombard left. The spears will take care of that, you feel, and the outposts are not coming up quick enough for HuT. HuT is under pressure. He taps out, and Vortix takes the set 4-2. Vortix is your champion for today. He will be the man booking his place in Castle Heidelberg, Germany. He books his place in the main event for Redbull Wololo Legacy. Hope you guys enjoyed this casted content. If you did, do give the video a thumbs up. I'm so excited. We will be casting the next set between Lucifer and Wham. So if you want to watch that, click the right hand card screen now and you'll be watching to see who else will be joining Vortix in the main event for Redbull Wololo Legacy. Take care and see you next time.